art should comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable. Welcome to Art Metro, the show that explores the world of art and how it shapes our lives. Today we will be speaking with Sulaiman Mohammed, an artist of great reputation. He is the national president, the Society of Nigerian Artists. We'll be discussing poetry in motion. Sit back, relax, and get ready to learn about the fascinating world of art. My name is Rita Ona. A quick break, we'll be right back. Welcome back. We are so excited to have Mohammed Sulaiman here with us today to talk about his work. Let's dive in. Welcome to Art Metro, Mr. Mohammed Sulaiman.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you, and welcome to the show.
My pleasure.
Please, can you tell us a little about yourself?
My name is Mohammed Sulaiman. I'm an artist. I'm a painter. I will say that I have been an artist spanning over decades now, that is after national service. I have been an exhibiting artist. Usually group exhibitions that I have done in the past, and from Lagos, and then back in as a full-time studio artist. And I'm also President Society of Nigerian Artists. I have exhibited in, let me say, about 4 or 5 continents, spanning countries after country, and country after country. I have done China, I have done Milan, I have done France, South Miro in Paris, I have done South America, I have done so many other places in the US, everywhere. So for me, art has been a part of my own system. It's been a part of my body, and then I know that there are things that you will say, like most people want to say it's a calling, or they want to say something like that. For me, it's been part of my second skin. So I have been involved in art completely. It's not a thing that I'm ready to say, drop in a hurry or shy away from. It's been my life, it's everything. In the past, you find us paint, and then we talk about, say, parts of art that are like the ordinary day-to-day occupational art, where you find people painting milkmaid, dignity of labor, and all of that. Well, that's for art for starters. Art for starters means that you're dealing with the everyday, so to say, perspectives of, say, what you think are trendy. But when you grow up and you attain some level of maturity in the art, you now know that you are supposed to be on that part, that push for the narrative that you set on the street, either for discourse, or you're dealing with things that are for correctional values, or you're keeping historical facts upright, or you want to tell the world what is completely new. For me at this time, it's more about the maturity that's like jazz. Like jazz music, you want to grow from one spot to another. Art must be that area where you say every other day, you're trying to explore, you're trying to send messages across. You're trying to show the skill level that you have within you. You're trying to show the usage of, say, maybe your style, your processes and everything. You're like redefining what people have been doing every other day. So in that process, you're beginning to tell the world a new story. And if you're able to tell stories that people actually can help walk with you through, then you understand that you are beginning to look at yourself as a professional artist.
Wow, thank you. Let's dive into your artwork. Tell us a story through painting.
For me, the way I look at art is to say, you want to question almost everything that you've been seeing before. Like, if there are planets, and you want to say other planets on the earth here, who has seen the planets? But the artist has been able to represent what planets are to you. But probably nobody has ever seen them. So these are representations. So when you come onto yourself and you want to deal with yourself as an artist, like for this, by the way, one of the artists that I'm inspired by is Pablo Picasso. What Pablo has put is Not the idea of cubism, not the idea of abstracting in, say, his paintings, but he's been able to send deeper than life meaning messages to people, and through cubism, because cubism is like an exploration of, say, the strength of your own understanding, not just of the hues, not of the colors only, but of the fact that you are able to lay back what you think the society has been missing. You see, this is the boot that I have here, and it is the boot that is crushing. By the way, it is poetry in motion, actually. This is very, very Nigerian. I want to say about Nigeria, but it's beyond just being Nigeria, it's Black Africa. What we have always heard are men in boots. Men in boots come over and they actually crush. And the reasons they crush sometimes, you can see like the pain I'm trying to show here, the excruciating pain that you can see from here. And then on the timber of a tree that has got its own punctures inside them. It is by that very visible idea that you can actually have an unfolding tenet for that excruciating pain. This is neither caused by the military or the boots that we talk about, nor by the ordinary day-to-day person who have become mountains, who have become impossible for systems in Africa. The people that you see in Africa today who are leaders have grown so far beyond their own people. The people that are supposed to be led have been like reduced, crushed. They're the ones that you see every day in that crushed sector. Even those that yell, those that shout out for peace. They are also back there in the background. And the hangman, you will almost understand that even the fetus inside the woman is already genocided. It has been hung already, even while incubating its own process. So that is why it's in this representation. And for those that are committing that every day are the day-to-day Africans who are doing it to themselves. The shining bright light that comes, even the pharaohs of Egypt and their own crowns of the sepulchres there, you find a lot of them here still struggling with it. But the influence into Africa, like the Eiffel Tower that you see here that has fallen, the influence into Africa is beyond one nation alone. In this painting, why I call it poetry in motion, is because there was actually a war that happened in Africa when they were breaking Africa down into pieces. But the black man did not know. The black man still thinks the World War I was World War I. That was World War II, and we had World War III. Because if it was partitioning of Africa, when you had the names of countries in Africa as Bechuanaland, Botswana, and all of this now, you had Southern Rhodesia, Northern Rhodesia, where you had Ian Smith and all of that. So if Portuguese will come, if the Dutch will come, if the Europeans will come as a whole, and then they come, Americans, everybody, they come here. So it means that the world actually came here. So the world gathered on Africa, and that was, as far as I'm concerned, a world war, because it did not make the African better, but it was supposed to have made it better.
Can you do some practicals for us to see?
Well, yeah, sure, why not?
Okay.
Like, I am tempted to bring it that painting and adding figures to that painting, because there was something I needed to do on that before. So I'll just bring it here.
So what is the inspiration behind this woman with veil?
You know, this is uncertainty for me. When it is not certain, when you're not certain, when the woman actually probably violated by men, or she is violating the men, but in all of that, what you see is just the face in this process. But it actually means that she's holding on to something that is much stronger than the ordinary person that sees the day-to-day. You are already veiled, and she's already veiled, and she has a lot more to show to the world. What is it that she has to show to the world? So that is uncertainty. So she represents the whole world to me, where you have other nationals scavenging all through. The whole world is guilty. The whole population of the world is guilty of all of those things there. Yes, a lot of people have their own kind of inspirations, but for some people, some will tell you they like solemn environments. Some will say if they are by the seaside and they're working, it gives them that. But if you love something that keeps you company very well, sometimes it could be your woman by your side. So, by the way, the artists are very romantic people.
Yeah.
So you find them very, very nice working. But even in the choice of music, I think you hardly find a lot of them doing with those very, very, like the heavy hip hop things. I'm just going to do some drawings on it. These are parts of the painting itself that have not been included. So on this here, I have 2 faces here. So this is the one face here. And and then this face actually is centered around the whole subject here, where I have this face that is here. I also actually have another that is like silhouetted there, so let me just give this one the shine on that area there. So this is actually faced by another face that is there, almost like an intuition to it. So that is what I'm just going to bring out again. So I have the second face here. Then actually behind this is like it's not an initiation directly, but behind there is the large face that is ultimately in charge of the whole of this process here. So I have the person that is here. So I am actually pushing all of these faces up here. So I'm going to block for all of them out. And for me in painting, what matters so much is speed. So you need to have some high level of speed anytime you're working, because you just want to be sure that you are not going to spend 15,000 years on a piece of art. But then again, you must be very precise at what your subject matters are. So, and then you have to do that. So they're actually out in the open. So, and I'm bringing them back indoors. So that's what I'm doing to them in this painting here.
What is the right thing to do? Is it to paint background before the image, or image before background? Because you see a lot of artists who finish their background and they now come to the image properly.
It depends on what you do. If you're painting landscape, for instance, where you have to push back from the horizon, so you want to deal with what is farthest, and then you keep coming until your foreground. So it helps you. But then in Impressionism, you don't necessarily have to do it. It depends on the style again that you're using, that you're working with. So in some, it's both ways, you're working the same thing. And some other people will tell you that this is what they're comfortable with doing. So it's about comfort, but at the end of the day, they want to see what is results, yes. But then for somebody that is learning, you want to appreciate that a person can start from the very farthest point on the horizon there and keep building up to the sky and down this way. So those are the areas that I look at when working on such subjects, yes.
Tell me more about your artistic process. How do you choose your materials?
It depends. Basically, I work mostly in oil on canvas.
Okay.
And then for me, it allows me a lot of time to fix a lot of things. It gives a lot of freedom when you're working with oil on canvas. It's completely different from when you're working with acrylic. Acrylic is so very fast, but it doesn't give me that space to want to maneuver and play around with my colors and express myself a lot more. But then if you find people that are so very good with acrylic on whatever surfaces they're working with, those that have mastered it so very well, you see that they find a lot of freedom in it. But for me, it's basically oil on canvas. I do pencil on paper, I do acrylic also, but the comfort zone that I have is in oil on canvas. And sourcing for how to work is, for me, I use the quick drying linseed a lot more because I need the layers to dry fast so I can go onto other surfaces. But if it is portraiture I'm doing or something, I like to work wet on wet so that I'm able to use the time to also look for those minute details that I always want to say, look for.
Okay. Are the materials readily available in Nigeria?
Yes, you have a lot of them. It just depends on the kind of quality of material now that you're looking for. Because the very high quality materials, like what come into the market these days, I don't want to say the Chinese type also. They just come in different types. But even from China, you still have the very high quality ones but the people that go to import these things into Nigeria, they pick you sometimes the very low quality because they want to make gains. But if you go directly, you want to order from abroad, you have wonderful quality to work with. Oh, thank you.
Summarize this work for us.
Okay, you see, in life actually, whatever it is that you want to do, people must talk. And they will talk and they will talk and they will talk. And if you're bothered about what people do and you're not staying focused as this image is focused, looking straight, and want to listen from talks from the background, you will never move forward. So the whole, you see tiny little heads of people here. So there are people, the multitude is still there. So as she comes in still, she will still be confronted by them. But all of these talk from behind are from her head. They're not real. So she needs to move up from them. That is why the next phase of this is going to be the colors that, they're very strong, a cadmium that is coming up on here. I would want you to even try it yourself and see. So that this is my cadmium here. Okay. So if you come this way, yeah, so I need it to be with a mixture of this actually. Okay. Yes, so you can pick it directly.
Why do artists mix color before painting?
No, the palette knives are here actually for mixing the color.
Yes.
Because you don't want to go with raw colors to your palette, to your canvas. So in all of these canvas, you don't find a direct red or a direct blue, but the artist is still at liberty to do whatever he wants to do. He can bring the colors up on the canvas, it depends on him. But for me, I'm very comfortable with using what is available naturally, because I hardly see that brilliant red, amazing. Hold this and let's see. So, along the line, you have, on this spiral line here, you have a lot of blood stains there and all of that here. So they come in, so you understand? So, and the cross levels and all of that here. So it's like she's wearing a sash. So if you don't mind, you can drop in the red. Let me see what you're doing with the red there. All the way, fill that place up for me here. So that whole place there, what we're sealing. So it's going to come as a sash over her shoulder. So we'll take it from over there to this place too. So that's where we are.
Thank you for joining me for another episode of Art Metro. I hope you enjoy learning about Sulaiman Muhammad and his work. Until next time, keep creating and keep appreciating art. Bye-bye.